Alright folks, let's give it a test. I think we got this set up finally today. And let's do a couple checks as I get in here. Great to see everybody. Brought to you today by Starlink, our new ISP, although I'm still running both. Give me a check in here, guys. Let me know we're all good. And hold on. Let me make sure I'm good here. Everybody. Yeah, I think we're okay. All right, finally. I don't anticipate any buffering interruptions, nor do we have the time to really wait around. Awesome. Thank you. It's, Starlink. Way to go, Elon. Another alternative to the mainstream nonsense. Great to see everybody today. I'm doing all right. A lot to talk about. Ho hum. NASDAQ 25,060. Where are we going? 1618. And I think, the closer we get to this, the more people are going to believe it. But truly, the fact that we're up here this quickly, here we are, first bit of October, and we're absolutely making massive progress, guys, this has been the plan all year. Get up here to the 1618. We were actually, the 1618 that I was originally talking about, 1618 and 1902, was off of this 2022 correction. Your 1618 is there. That was 23. The 1902, that was up there at like 25, right? Kind of where we are. That was our baseline argument from long ago. And then we had the correction and anticipated this return move to where the larger 1618 or the more obvious 1618 is kind of like that. And so just build your strategy on the continuation to those targets. I think same can be said for Bitcoin. Of course, S&P. We've seen what gold can do. And again, it's balls to the wall, straight up, till we hit the target. Is there anything that's going to stop this? Not with that kind of a chart. Let's jump right to Bitcoin, because we had not the best sessions last week to cover crypto. Also, what have I been saying, guys? 111, 118, in that range until we break out. So that's clearly we've come back. Who was here on Thursday? Who was here last week? People were saying, Scott, it's 109, not 111. Is it going to break down? No. And there's the full return, guys. We have done the minimum range check back. Now what? Because we're up against some numbers. We know the Bitcoin range. Again, this is it. And then we, full on price. It's not, we're already in price discovery. Don't get me wrong. Okay? But where's price discovery acceleration? So let's go. How is it going? Are we okay? Checking in with you guys. Let me know. Is it coming through? No buffering. It is a Starlink stream. I just want to check these first few minutes, so you guys let me know. Please keep me informed. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We are here twice a week when we're when we're able to stay online. So all good. Thank you. Sound okay too? I think we're good. You guys just let me know. After last week, I was so frustrated that I absolutely wanted to just get this done once and for all. So I think this is going to work. We can get to those. Thank you. Let's cover some crypto, big news in crypto though. This is number one. Bitcoin back to topside range resistance. That's good. That's what we want. I don't think, there's much difference in the total total market versus Bitcoin chart, and all of those making progress. Again, we're looking to clear out this whole range. Daily or weekly, there's daily. Still dealing with the shark, but look, we've got the counter HSI. That was about 10 days ago. We said this is what we want to look for. HSI, complete, retest, turnaround, and then we go. So waiting for that top end breakout across the board. And then Ethereum did its big kind of dunk briefly under 4K, and now look at what's going on. So really quick, I tried to get into this about the new indicator, that little diamond formation. That is absolutely an acceleration point, and we got that about 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and a yellow dot. So this is set up where reaction off of what I have called not the greatest pattern. It's more of an alignment pattern. We're not really picking off extreme highs or lows. It's just we're pulling off of X. A couple people have asked me, well, why is that so significant? It's more about the alignment, and what that normally is, just temporary reaction, is the way to look at that. I mean, it's impressive that the alignment of harmonic measurements, which is exactly what that is. Your XA had a great fit at the B point. You have an AB, CD extended leg. All of that created a zone, but it's just a pause. And we said that. How do we know? Well, we assume 30 bar pause no matter what. Guys, it's like this. You get that. You hit the software. T1's measured out. And then it projects it 30. And that's about the amount of time. The thing that has transpired, you never got to T1 sideways. Okay, but we're still looking for this kind of confirmation. We call that a counter HSI counter signal, meaning bearish pattern yields a reaction. That's it. It's done. And that is something with patterns that I think people miss. Yes, there's excellent patterns that can give huge moves, but most of them, the first one is just a reaction, time and time again, either to target or to our confirmation. So there you go. One or two more. So we got to keep our eye on things like XRP, because I think that's just building like it did back in April, May, and a little progress back above 3. XRP is, I think what's going to happen is you're going to get these couple of days, 1, 2, 3 days. You're going to wait for months, and then you're going to just blast off. If you wanted to fat finger along XRP, that's above 360, 370. I'm long. I've stayed long. I'm just going to stay with this. I'm staying with this to much higher target levels. So, yeah, the update should be out. Give me a day or two. Okay, 1 or 2 more days. It's I put in the official request. My partner is a little busy right now, but he's going to get to it. And then I also, I'm rolling this out first. And then just to show you guys, the other thing that's going to come up here is going to be the scanner. Pattern profiler. I guess that's what we're calling it. Hold on. It'll come up in a second. These two tools, well, the profiler especially, I think we'll be able to put together everything into kind of one number, one price bar. Get the T1, get the T2. There it is. Yeah, there's it doesn't really show it there. Maybe a 5 minute pattern is going to be a 5 minute chart. We get more matches. There you go. And again, as I said, I have not tweaked this at all, but it's going to automatically per each time frame, depending on what it is, it'll run through all the patterns, tell you what the best patterns, what are the setups, what are the results. I'm really excited for that. So again, to get that, get the free trial. Everybody that subscribes or has already purchased it, you guys will get the update for free. Everyone else gets your TradingView username over to HPC at sr-analyst.com and get ready for this run because it's about to begin, if not already begun. And I'm going to say, I want to show one or two things of why I have to start really coming back and dabbling in the T coins, S coins, T coins, whatever you want to call them, because check out Zcash. I don't even think I can hit this chart, but anyone else see Zcash? Now 156, guys, almost 170. And remember, we had all these patterns down at 20 bucks. And so this is crypto. And this is why it's challenging. And for me, let me switch up here and get a better feed. Let's get Binance feed. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed, but I'm going to, let me come to one or two of these others that are, there you go. So Zcash was something, hey, I held this. I had that back a year ago as one on my bingo card. Okay? But this is what's happening, and this is why I guess if you're going to be crypto, I guess we got to hodl, because that chart is remarkable. That's an insane breakout and tells me that this thing is back. The fire, the fuel that you need to get runs like that is flooding back in now. Yeah, and look weekly, and let's use this as a model, okay? Let's use it as a model. You know what? I have said a year ago, I said Zcash is one of these that has all these patterns down here. Where was it on the weekly? Hold on. Binance feed? I think Binance, but daily? I just remember there's just a ton of patterns stacked. And every time this thing got to 20 bucks, it bounced. So, and I'm going to be, look, here's the challenge. Let me go to the monthly chart, because we've had a few of these. Something like Zcash is still a recovery candidate. All right? Down here, 2024, you're just hugging the lows at $20. In the pre-run last year, you made a pop to 75, then all the way back to 24. I'm sorry, the trader in me would take myself out back and just smash my head over with a shovel. It doesn't look like much now, but if I'm in something at 20 and then it goes to 80, 75, I'm not letting it come back to 50 or 40, and this one came all the way back to 21. So what can we learn from these situations? Well, crypto has a season, okay? And that season has begun. And so we can start looking at this stuff and weekly signals like this as a harmonic phenomenon. Like I always say, pattern looking left. It's a mind-blowing move, guys. But it's happening. And where's the other? Hold it. Let me add a couple more. Because I really want to go to town on this. I have some thoughts. I really have some thoughts on how to really capture these, and I think one of them is having concrete signals looking left, a I don't know, a pattern looking left, weekly confirmation, something daily, something. Okay, and this has been just the last few days has a lot of things where, again, kind of the combinations of patterns we want to look for. It was a freaking perfect type 2, guys. There was the 1. Okay, and then here, went there, up, back up for the 2. Hold on. There, the 1, and then for the 2, and then goes to target 2, puts in a shark, and just sails on through. All right. Now that we know we're in the season, I think we can start looking at bearish patterns, at least daily, and pauses, all right, as just that, because we should be blowing them out. Patterns like that, looking left, as that keeps on progressing and blast off. I mean, I think that's the formula, and we've seen stuff like, all right, so this is one, I think, Chronos, CRO, Crypto.com. Here's another one. I've mentioned this before, and now we're there where if we've got that first thrust, all right, here we have, look, diamond, 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 double dot. Also, I'm going to say this, guys. I have gone through this so much and in the last few weeks, especially with trying to bring in the combination signal. Look, this diamond dot, this first of all, double dot, definitely something we want to pay attention to. It has a greater significance. And these are some of the AI statistical things we'll do and bring into it. But that's a powerful signal, and that's about all you're going to get. So, again, CRO, I think with like Zcash and a lot of these, what's the problem? The problem is the patience. CRO spent years down at 8 cents, down there and believe me, I was trying to buy these. I know back in 23, I had bought down here on 4 cents and caught kind of this move to 10 or 11. And, the trader in me is like, hey, that's a double, take it. Well, I think we got to now we're going to maybe step that back and say, okay, it's the season, it's the time. So let's go. We're not looking for doubles. We're looking for 10x, something like that. Hold on. I gotta click a button here. Okay. So let's do a couple crypto real quick. What are you guys looking at? Because I think after that Zcash move, you probably need to take a peek at all of the privacy coins. Dash. Look at Dash. And Dash is another one. But Dash has got beautiful harmonics. Butterfly at the hop, $25, currently 33. Confirmation was 22. That's something where you take it to target 1. And I want to be really clear on all of these. Start using the target 1s for your recoveries as real potential. I mean, it's it. Wake up. It's the wake up phase. It is go time, guys. It's go time on all this garbage. And I say garbage just in terms of because it's done nothing for a couple years, and now we're responding in the best way. Let's go. Let's smash through the crypto picks. XMR, Monero. I'm sure that's another one. Yeah, look at that. XMR market cap was 4.7 billion. Can we get to I don't know, can we blow at least up to that? Hold on. At least get up to, say, hop level on the return trade? Why not? 6 billion right now, get to 7.5, something like that. I think I don't think that's really too much. There's that, and do look at market cap, guys. Think in market cap. XMR 6 billion. Can you get the 10 billion? Yeah. That would take it to new highs, but look, if this stuff's going to work like that, then so be it. XMR Zcash. What is the new mayor? That's the other one, right? Yeah, there you go. NMR. Now 16, down here around 7. Let me give you a couple more of these. I'm a big fan of Ethereum Classic. I know people are like, why? Because you have so many patterns here. Guys, if this is go time, Ethereum Classic is back. It retested all the levels we wanted to see, 1658. That would be a big number for me. And that's weekly chart. That's a type 2. Let's get the patterns looking left. Let's get them looking left. I think this is just beautiful. Ethereum Classic. The other one was Ethereum Name Server. It's if we're going to go, let's go now. 21. Where's the pattern here? There you go. Bang. Man, TradingView has been running pretty slow lately. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. Hold on. Hold it. Where's my pattern? Is that taking a minute? Hold on. Oh, check it out. I just got an update. Oh, that's why. Hold on. I just got an update. I literally just got an update on the patterns. Way to go, Chris. All right, let's see what that is. Where's the... Hold on. I had a big bat pattern here. Regardless, it's $21. A couple more. Look at Doge back at 25 cents, guys. And this is doing the return move. So 23, you're done. Go back and get to 29.30 cents. Yes. Crypto season is here. Couple more. AVAX, sure. AVAX is, I think, let's go. Hold on. Oh, let's do it this way. Let's get our symbols right. Thank you. Couple more. Doge, CRO, Bitcoin 120K. We knew that. Let's do it this way. AVAX. There you go. Another return trade, 27 back to 35. But I think we have to go back. Your number one consideration right now, guys. Are we coming off of any weekly signal? Confirmation? Yeah, I would say so. And that was a diamond retesting a dot. I mean, that was $20. You're now 30. And look at this. I mean, Zcash blew my mind, guys. Zcash really, it's not the first one, but it blew my mind. And so I want to look for stuff like this for recovery candidates. We have our trending, obvious candidates, guys. But this, I think we're now in that window. How do you play it? Oh, come on, man. Every time I'm on your... Why? Hold on. I got to click this off, dude. You got... I love them, but every time I'm streaming, somebody's hitting me on the Discord. Look, Avalanche is like this. If we did our first thrust, which I think it is, then 27.96 is it. And looking for the return trade. Okay? So you get back to 28, 27.95, that's it. And you're looking for Avalanche from 27 up to about 40. 35 minimum. So don't, just because I'm saying this about Zcash doesn't mean it's all going to happen at once, please. But it is starting. We can see it. It truly has begun. When you get stuff like that, Arkham, like that, Coinbase, I mean, we got patterns. Who put that up there? Hold on. Yeah, you know, Ethereum Classic is mineable. That was a great one. Yeah, I do, and I like that. What's up, William? Yeah, we can look at that as well. Arkham, that was for incredible. Yeah, buddy. Look, they're not all going to pop off, and they're not all going to pop off and do Zcashes. But what are the commonalities? We have a pattern. Check. Where is that? In this case, it's 49. Where's the confirmation? Well, confirmation's lower. All right. And my question is this. We've been through this. This is a lot like Zcash before the movement. And, you know, again, I think it's everyone's personal preference. Let's say you were to buy all the way back in April at 45, and then it goes all the way to like 80. Are you holding on for, and it comes all the way back down, actually goes to new lows? That's the challenge. That's been the challenge all year long, but now I would simply say it's October. We have bullish confirmation. We're against a pattern. So let's just put a little more logic in. All the knuckleheads are looking at the calendar saying, yeah, now it's time. The cycle's here. So consider that. That's probably a good shot, especially off of the dot. All right. And the dot is today. Anywhere around 52 cents, my man. I'm okay with that. A lot of these are going on. What's up, Lino? Let's look at LCX. You know, there's a whole bunch of those. LCX. That's progress. Hey, we're not at all-time lows. That's progress. You know why? Here's also the other thing to consider. Have we broken up the downtrend? Most of these have been doing this all year. They had the November run. They topped out in January, rolled over, and for 9 months like this. How do we know? Well, can we all draw a trend line? I think so. That's a pretty fair trend line like that. You know, we've been broken out of that trend line since July. I would say it's probably like that or even like that. You know, there's a diamond. A couple of oversold signals. This is our latest LCX, right around 14 cents. And I'd say now, you know, I'd say now because we really want to see this progress. You're getting HSI. You're getting amplified up above the 50 level, and it's October. Let's go. I think this all started. Remember I was saying about OKB? Remember OKB? And it did that. Okay, remember that from 40 to 240, guys, and now 191. That's Zcash. And this is really, for me, where it started. As soon as I saw that craziness, and not that this has anything better or worse than all the other ones, other than look at the chart. I mean, just that's mind-blowing market cap appreciation. And I mean, that's a Bitcoin-ish type move. So trending, yeah. Explosion, yeah. God candle for sure. Now what? Well, let it go into a 30-day hold, but this stuff is happening. So let's go find them. Let's find them. Let's find them with patterns. Let's find them with oversold signals. And even like these diamond triggers. Couple more. Great to see everybody. Come on in. Yeah, I guess so. Link is the other one, yes, and Link did the type 1, and now I think Link goes to 48. Why? Check out what Link did. Remember the daily? It was a bearish Gartley or bat pattern, and we were looking for 19. We got oversold at 20. And that's probably it. I would be focused on more like this. Here's a oversold confirmation. 1, 2, 3. There's another one. I think that's all you're going to get. And I think Link is another one. Just don't go all in at once. That's probably the only thing to really consider here. You don't go all in at once. Take 100. Get another 100. Get another 100. Build a position. I don't know. Build like a position of like 500, something like that, and hold on to it for the ride. If this is the launch point for Link, which is something else, we're back to this whole back-to-back pattern thing where we want bullish patterns on the left, a bearish type 1, and then we take it and we blow through. So that's absolutely essential. What was the other one? Litecoin for Mr. Alpin. What's going on? Did you get set up with that yet? Oh, that should be active, by the way, just to let you know. I mean, I double checked that. Litecoin back at 118, 119. It's just like Link. Came to target 1 at 106, 107. You got a diamond. Let's go. Now. It's not, that reaction is over. And if we're really going to do something massive, we're going to go 131, blast through 150. When we get above 150, somebody call me. But we're full return phase now. And remember, the weekly charts like this. There's a lot going on here on this weekly. Patterns, back to back. And if we break out, this is the other thing we should be seeing is an absolute straight off advance once we get through here above 152. Anything is possible. Just keep that in mind. I think a lot of the last 2 or 3 years of basing is coming to an end, guys. And it's tough. It's not easy to sit through something like that. The other one that it reminds me of is Bitcoin Cash. People have talked about this doing something. Oh, this is going to go someday. Bitcoin Cash going to break out someday. It's going to keep rocking. Yeah. You can't see it, but Bitcoin Cash has like this stealth type 2. And let me point it out. So there was the pattern way back in 2022. All right, had a little reaction, got slammed down to the hop, but your confirmation was all the way at $100. Ran like crypto loves to do. T1 goes to target 2. All right, and now back down. Now 270 is the XA level. So officially we hit it right there in March. So that is a T2. By definition, little difficult because the reason why I didn't generate too many bars, but I think, just watch it there. That's the monthly. A lot to consider, guys. If this stuff busts out, this is the time where it does the move, where your long-term recovery possibilities, and what is a recovery possibility is that we simply recapture 2 areas. One, okay, we already did the first move, which was a 382, which was right there, and then you come back and an 886. Those are recovery plays. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how you get a BAM action, bat action magnet move. Has to get above 700 to really do that, but it's there. It's getting there. A couple more. The diamond, really quick. What's up, Jim? Jim's asking about the diamond. I went through this last session before we broke up. It's going to be a new feature, okay? And what it is it's a combination of both amplified and HSI together, okay? But it only triggers when we get oversold and you get above the 50. So like the last one was 2024. But it doesn't trigger till you get above the 50. It's a starting point for possibilities. I'll do once I release it. I'm hoping a couple more days, maybe Thursday, we dive deep. But a lot to consider with it. Mana. So yeah, Mana, Sandbox, all of those that were dormant. Look, if we've got stuff, there's your weekly. Mana just sitting there, 33 cents. We need some triggers. And probably go on the daily. If you don't see anything on the weekly, go to the daily. But there you go. Now, interestingly enough, you have a bat pattern in Mana. It's at 28 cents. But let's just go through. Look at every time it's been just 1618 inflection and then return move. But where are the possibilities against the pattern? Well, look, there's a diamond and there's a diamond. The only two since that pattern completed. And, you know, I think that definitely matters. You had a third one on the initial. But you know, unless you know something about it, you know, something's coming. The best I could really suggest is I like it. You know, it's not a bad play with successive higher lows. But just take it in chunks and, you know, we go from here. You're 32, 33 cents. You get to 40. And then talk to me if we can get above 40. That would be great. So, a couple more. Hyperliquid. Look, that thing. So people have talked about this. And Hype actually, Hyperliquid that is, was able to break out. I mean, it's an impressive chart. No doubt. Is this going to do something much more price discovery wise? Because again, guys, take your range. Full 886 reset. Now are we going to go 1618? It's like 63 bucks. I don't think that's crazy. Where do you jump on? Look for stuff like this. 4-hour time frame. It's a shark. Confirmation. Everything's like 46-ish. All right. This zone here. Start to get away from you, but I suspect we'll get a retest. But that's a good one. That's a trending. Certainly a candidate. A couple more. TIA for Cryptox Lawyer. TIA is another one. You know, we looked at that since $4. I think we were looking at that on the weekly. Daily, weekly. Maybe it was a weekly originally. 240. I think it was something like this. TIA on the daily. There you go. So, what do we have, guys? Diamond. Yeah, look, and this is what it really encapsulates. Okay, the fact that HSI is above the 50, price action looks terrible. But think of it this way. The internals are strengthening before price moves and get amplified moving above it. So if you were looking at this, it's a type 1. It's probably a full go by tomorrow. Back up to 175. For now. Just take it to minimum target. You know, maybe we go to T to 195. But here's the thing. Let's say you get into it by tomorrow. around 145 and it blasts through but gets to T2 and can't continue, that's it. You're done. That's it. But you should be looking for patterns like that. I agree. Ondo. Yeah. Yeah, look, I think just technically, all right, here's the deal. These are difficult because you're at all-time new lows. You're not trending. And I think, yeah, market cap and all that, in terms of being a low floater could help. But we want more development than that. And let's try to find a couple. New indicators coming out in a day or two. I'll do probably a full preview on Thursday. I should be able to have it out to everybody. But again, if you're new, please get the free trial. Send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Get the 2-week trial, and then when we release it, you will get it in a couple of days. Everyone else, for foundational information on harmonic patterns, please just become a basic member at harmonictrader.com. Register now. Okay? And then dive into all of the information. Now, I want to bring something up before I go any further, especially as we are on the edge of this crypto cycle to begin. And it has a lot to do with simply respecting automated, identified patterns and sticking with those. Things like, hold on, not that, this. When we have patterns, listen, you can draw patterns. You could somehow fit patterns. I've seen this so much where, we could draw all kinds of patterns to say, all right, maybe it's right here or here or here. The advantage of having the software is you have a unified, complete system of algos that are going to define the harmonic levels. And I say that because of things like this. Let me show you. So, and I don't mean to disparage anybody. I think it's important, that you learn how to learn the dynamics. Okay, but here's somebody who had drawn, they posted something to me, and you guys, by all means, please reach out to me on X, what have you. Somebody looking for this kind of a scenario where they draw out a bat or a shark. It's actually a shark that they drew out. They didn't even labeled it wrong. Looking for 101. And that's never going to happen because of the underlying patterns we're currently dealing with. So get the software. Again, I'm telling you, you can learn by hand, but let the algos do the work for you. And then Ondo, we have a shark, no doubt. We have a few patterns. Basically, 63 to 76 is your range. Right now, we're 95. Why? Well, we just had confirmation yesterday. I'd trigger off of something like that. But clearly, the patterns are speaking. And you might not even draw out these patterns. You might be like, well, maybe it's something like this, X and A and B, and, well, it doesn't get to, trust me. It's a big reason why we do this. And we do the show to highlight the advantages of the software and how to sort out opportunities. That's always been my challenge with the harmonic patterns. I came out with the alignments, the M's, the W's, but then what I saw in a lot of incorrect instances is drawing the wrong opportunity. 80% of all mistakes are made through improper identification. Keep that in mind. All right, couple more. Let's keep rocking. We did AVAX, Injective. What is that? Hold on. Wrong one. There you go. Injective. Like this. Good one. I like this. Why? Patterns looking left. Check out the little shark down here. And Injective, hey, we're not all-time lows. All-time lows is 53 cents. You're 12 bucks. Amazing. Amazing how that happens. But think of it this way. This is the big corrective cycle. All right, started March. That's your big constraint. Whatever is all in here, it's all just bear market consolidation, but you have a pattern. And we're looking for some confirmation signals down here. You know, it's 12-ish. I would say that next one comes in somewhere like a little shark or a little deep crab against that deep crab. So somewhere around 11. It's at least a buck lower. I want to see a dot. I want, you know, literally you got to be printing a yellow dot or a diamond or something to really get that going. And we're against this downtrend, so, you know, give it time. Yeah, we can go to that. Do I live out in the boonies? No, I just live in a, no, man, I'm in Miami suburbs, you know. It's just that I'm close to the Keys. I'm not far to the Keys, and I think they have problems. I know Comcast in the area has been having problems. So first day on Starlink. Let me know if we're having any issues. Are we lagging? Let me know, guys. We should have no problems. Today should be crystal clear. Yeah. Pump. Are we going to go to these other ones now? The total T coins, S coins. Pump fun. Getting pumped. I really, you know, I think there's a lot. This is on the Binance. You just had a confirmation a couple days ago. I don't have anything on that. Go to the 4-hour time frame. There you go. Especially with these new things. 0.7 of a penny. You're looking for that back at a half a cent. Because again, the back-to-back scenario is like this. Okay? Bullish pattern type 1, bearish structure, bring it down. I would not even touch that until we have the retracement. But it's a powerful setup after we get through the retracement and look at it like that. That's how you should be anticipating all of these. Seriously. Couple more. Couple more. Yeah, we go to the stocks. I think so. Great. We did Monero. We did Dash. What else do we got? Zcash. I don't know. The privacy coins. Look out. I mean, it really is. I'm amazed by Zcash. Okay. One or two more. Where is I did XRP. What was the other one? XDC. So XDC is one that I mentioned a while back. Shark to 5.0. Let me show you. It's related somewhat to XRP, and it's still in that category. Hold on. TVWX. So XDC is another one I'm looking at, guys. Why? It's got everything we've been asking for. It is, definitely off the lows, trending. And here we go, another shark to 5.0. There's the shark. We're down to the 5.0. We've been waiting under 7 points. Long NQ about 2 minutes ago. I'll get to that in a second. I'm trying to do two things at once. Love them. Stellar Lumens. Let's go. Let's go. Last dot here, 36. That should be it. Wait, can we get the breakout? Because, again, this is where the larger things can really happen. Can we break out of this big consolidation flag, pennant, however you want to call it? It is time. The other one that I like, told you guys before, and it's now we're almost there. Stronghold, SHX. Hold on, SHX. Get you, like here. All right, SHX, another one. We were looking for this corrective shark. Where'd you go, my shark? Shark. Sorry, crab. Down here. Finish the T1. Got a couple of things. I'm looking for the return, guys. Let's get that return again. Down here. Crab. Down at almost T2. Let that develop and get ready to go. This is also trending. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, the low is at half a penny a year ago. And now we're ready for the next wave. A whole bunch of these. Turbo. I did see something in Turbo. Asui. Before I get to Turbo, this is another shark to 5-0. Oh, you turkey. Hold on. There you go. At Sui, guys, this hit 308 5 days ago. That was the number we were waiting on all along. Remember? Shark to 5-0. It's actually even a T2 5-0. And I like this one for trending potential. I really think what you have going on here is just a slow build. And then this has got 1618 written all over it. Off of the shark, I'm looking at it like this. You know, SUI, XABCD, 123, 1618, like 760-ish. For sure. For sure. I like that one. Turbo. The other Turbo is a classic example. Everyone was all hot and bothered about this when it first came out. Now look at it. Look at that. Okay? Turbo. Yeah, because it was crazy. It went from like less than 1/10 of a penny to 1.5 cents. All the way back down. 886 reset. Great. Now, what's down here? Anything? Well, I would have loved a full retest. We're 3/10 of a cent so far. Give me a dot over the next few days. I really think that could materialize pretty quickly. Hold on. Oh, I got like 3 orders going here. Let me just take that off. Thank you. Okay, good. So these are the classic ones. And again, patterns looking left. What I started with was Zcash. And I think this should be, everyone should be watching this. Study that chart. Looking for these kind of washed out scenarios and then looking for critical building development to do some crazy mooning stuff. I'm impressed. Let's jump over. Yeah. We'll bring the rest of them on Thursday because believe me, we're going to be digging super deep into all of these crypto next week, this week, next week. Because I think once we start, things get going, you're done. I mean, it's going to be a hectic, frenzied pace. Remember where we were a year ago, on the verge of a major election. Now it seems like we're 3 years from that already. Oh, the other one just spotted YFI, guys. YFI. Okay, you're in finance. That's another one of these, just a sleeper down here at like 4,000, 5,000. Get one, get half a one. But YFI, I think it just I'm okay now with these low floaters. That's all I gotta say. I think if you were gonna take a shot and we see a couple more of these pop off like that, hey, let's go. Just be willing to stay in there. Boy, Zcash, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. I had that again like a year ago and traded it. Well, time to really sit down and hold these. Yeah, couple more. Let's go over to the markets. Well, let's go. Let's segue first to gold, guys. I think gold and silver. I just it's it's just fulfilling the prophecy. So what's the prophecy? The prophecy is that these are going to go do either 1618 extreme kind of extensions, price discovery moves, or we go and at least get to like 3618 massive new cycle type moves. How does 4100 sound now? Because 4100 is a scratch away. That's like a strong month away. So gold, something definitely up. And that's good for Bitcoin. That's good for assets because we are in I hate to say it, we are in a bubble, guys. You better get used to it. And that's not a bad thing. But yeah, we're in a bubble. We're in an inflationary bubble. But where do those bubbles end? 3618s. Get used to it. 3618, that's our decade extension on gold. And I'm going to just bump target. And I want to be in front of it, guys. 3618, guys, gets us to 5K on gold. I've been talking 4100 for the longest time. But that's it. I'm absolutely ready to bump up and call it for what it is. Like I'm not worried about 4K. Never have been. I thought that was an easy target. I want you guys to be planning for gold. That gets you to 5K. Hold on. Silver. Silver is probably on the verge of doing, I don't know. I just think it's about to go full cycle batshit crazy where our 886 reset is nothing. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Hold it. 1 second. I'm getting trailed out on all of these. Great, thanks. And I think what we want to consider is silver doing the unthinkable, which is we're in a new cycle. We're in a new cycle, and this monthly cycle will take us to a 1618. First, we get up to the 50 mark. That's our approximate 1618. But I'm going to say this. Silver going to $75 or $85 all-time 1618. Not a big deal. And I think we got to start playing for it. Because the new paradigm of what we've been looking for is unfolding right before our eyes. The whole 1618 all-time price discovery stuff, that's happening. But it's happening across the board in all assets where there's a revaluation. And a lot of people are talking about the debt and debt crisis and why that is. And you see it on the charts. So silver down here at 46, I don't think is a big deal. I think silver above 50 is where things start to explode. 48, first stop. First stop, 48. Hold on. Let me close this out. Great. Now, I say that in reference to wanting Bitcoin to rage because Bitcoin is in the same class as the rest of these. So looking at silver at 46, it's an amazing move for this year so far. But that's just the beginning. I'm really impressed. Kind of amazed. But the whole prophecy, the precious metal prophecy. Gold to 5,000, silver to 100 an ounce. Yeah, this is reality now. I think silver on a percentage basis is probably going to become a better trade than gold very soon. I guess. I guess it's look, what's really going on is what I've said all along. It's all about deflating the dollar where all of your assets, if it's crypto, if it's silver, gold, it's against the USD. And your denominator, that being USD, is declining against a numerator that's stabilizing or increasing. Here's another place to be fishing. Solar, guys. Solar's gone. Okay? And solar, the TAN ETF, we have been talking about this in other plays for a long time. All right, we're now 46. But look at the monthly chart. Where are we going on this monthly chart? That's freaking beautiful. 46, go to 63, 64 on this move. You can fat finger along the TAN right now. You can fat finger along the TAN. And it's another reason why silver's going up. They use nearly an ounce. Now, if I go back to my high school days and I remember how to convert grams to ounces, 20 grams, I did the research, 20 grams of silver, okay, for every solar panel. Now, I got to go back to high school, 1980s, okay, we have gram, ounce, yeah, an ounce, 28 grams, okay, it's almost 3/4 of an ounce for every solar panel. So I expect solar and silver to run together. Yeah. Keep an eye on that. Those are some of my favorite plays. Other plays, well, the quantum thing is real. Qubits, 29 up 362. Gone. This is insanity. You know, $1 now 30, or Rigetti. Okay, we've been talking about Rigetti all summer. 34. Where did we hit Rigetti? Oh, down here at 10, and then 15, and now 35 today. At the 1618 right now. But check it out. Went daily oversold already. That's going higher, kids. Rigetti. I'm amazed. Like, Rigetti's ready to do... look, there's a 1618. Where's a 3618? Like 65? Has that happened before? Yeah, IONQ. So it's Rigetti, it's D-Wave, it's Qubits. IONQ, massive. Massive. IONQ, remember, was 37 because it was a target one. We were looking for the return to 49. It smashed through. Yeah, there's confirmation up there. But let it come back down and get ready to jump on. A whole bunch of these. D-Wave, which is, I think it's QUBT. Quantum computing. No, D-Wave is the other one's qubits. But I'd go fishing here. Looking at stuff like, 15 again. Double dot, HSI on the daily. These are all things we talked about July, August. Now they're playing out and they're starting to rock. And they go a lot higher. I mean, you're talking 3 billion market cap. Go to 10 billion? Why not? You're above all resistance. You're just a little 886 pause, but look, we're ready to go price discovery. A lot of these looking, I mean, these are phenomenal charts, guys. These go a lot higher. Daniel wants sale, man. You better have something real good. You always do. Daniel pounding the table on sale. Steel Authority of India. Never heard of that, man. Never heard of that. But if that's like Tata consultancy, yeah. Daily is a type 2 bat pattern with a dot. Yeah, here. If we were down here after the type 1, yeah. And in fact, this is good you bring this up because this should be the play. Just because we have a bearish pattern doesn't mean we should be too nervous about it. Okay, we get these type 1 reactions down to T1, and it's like IONQ a while back. Dot, arrow, another dot, all of that says about 120-ish. It did get down to, what, 116, but from that point forward, you're looking for return phase. And this is how I think we're going to start to line up a lot of things because a whole bunch of these daily patterns that formed off the April low are giving you a secondary entry here, and then you look for the blowout move. All right, that's it. But I like these, and just stay with it. A couple others. Hold on. Couple others. Got it. Well, JD. Okay. So what's up, Troll King? JD is just like Baba and Baidu. I like Baidu the best because it hasn't run yet. Well, it's starting to run. But Baidu, we were on that at 87, now 139. Same with Baba. And Baba is a monthly. What's the problem? What was the problem with Baba? Well, you spent 4 years at $75. You're there at March 22. And then you're still there at 75 and it's August 24. It's a type 1 on the monthly. Nothing stopping it yet. And that was a beautiful crab, and I think, a pattern like this has got new cycle written all over it. JD, I think that's, it's like the others, but hasn't gone as far in terms of development. Massive bat. There was the IPO cycle. You're down here 26-ish. All the way up to 100, all the way back down, do the 886, reset the cycle, and go. So you're 36. We need stuff like this. I mean, that's even that irregular bat pattern is still a type 2. I'm not going to say this shit's easy because you're in there. Okay, looking at the 1, all right, that's expected. Type 2, great, confirmation. Goes up, back, confirms, grinds for 4 months, and now starting to do the move. I would simply wait for like the next 4-hour jump on point. Some arrows here, 34, 35. All right, I mean, just remarkable. But JD is definitely one I think will have its day quite soon. Baidu is probably the one that's going to play catch up to Baba. Couple more. Mr. Bastion wants to look at Rivian. Yeah, you got it. Rivian's like this. It's another one. Rivian, Lucid, all of them. Rivian's a type 2. Despite today's down move, embrace the suck. Really, you want things down hard, fast, and get it over with and get ready to jump back on. I think Rivian. I think Lucid. You look at Tesla. I mean, frickin' Tesla, guys. Did everything we wanted to. Rivian's got zillions of patterns down here. I mean, remarkable. What's the only problem? We got to break out. We got to clear the downtrend. I mean, even off the last set of patterns. Get to the right of that downtrend. I think it looks okay. I just think you're going to have to realize these type of trades are going to take not 30 days, more like 30 weeks, maybe even 30 months for full development. There you go. I mean, forget the IPO where that all came out, which is pretty ridiculous. Start looking for stuff to the right. I mean, Rivian could be back at 1050 to retest some signals before going. I could see that. The other one was Lucid. Reverse split, all of that, but okay, trying to find some new life. Remember, this is 10 for 1 reverse split. So it came out with that pop. You have some stuff down here. Not that is I would have you buy Tesla all day long over this, but you're seeing things kind of trying to develop, stabilize, whereas 6 months ago they were still trending lower. But then Tesla, I mean, look at this. Down 20, great. And I'm not worried about it being, we were up 40, we were up, 20, and then they sold it off down 40. I'm not worried about this. Okay, you're at the weekly type 2, which is what we've been targeting all along. I'm not, let this do the digestion it needs. XA level. There's no confirmation on the weekly just yet. You're up here overbought. So, look, there's no long position here. What you're looking for is this going to bypass the zone and continue straight to the hop, or are we going to consolidate at 444? So far, we need a 1 weekly bearish candle before I even consider anything. But the return move that we have been talking about really since April has been realized. It has. Another great example of using type 1 reactions, get the oversold, and then go for the return. What else? Okay, you guys got a ton. Let's stay on stocks. What's that other one? NXPI, isn't that next point, or isn't that, it's a semiconductor, right? NXP Semi. Shark to 5.0 on the weekly. Nothing really there. Again, a lot of the semis have just been raging as they should. Yeah. I mean, maybe NXPI is like looking for end of a type 1. It's not there yet, but 204 and then do the return move. 1 or 2, like I've been looking at this on semi. I mentioned this to you guys a while ago. It's a weekly, like there. Type 2, like 46.52. I like that. I mean, here's something that hasn't mooned yet. Perfect type 2. What do you need? I need confirmation down in here. But it's a great pattern setup. Real nice. Couple others. SMCI, yeah, I think that's going to make it. SMCI is a 65 target. We said that was ready. Mostly off the daily because of this. HSI, we're just going sideways. We're looking, and this is a lot like IONQ. We were looking at $40 last month. Based out, turning around, now making progress. That's a perfect type 2 return trade. Get to 62 for us, please. But yeah, it's there. Reaction done. Hits the target. T1 goes on. Arrow, dot, line, scrape, break it, and go. All good. Couple more. Wow, you guys, either you're all running multiple names at once, but Rumble, did it get back under 7? Yeah, I think we're good on Rumble. We were looking for Rumble. It's 733. We dipped down. We were looking for back under 7-ish. Yeah, you know what's going to happen? Next week, we're going to get a dot. We actually might even get a double dot. And here's another great return trade, guys. Look, crab pattern to the 1618, send it down. You go to target 2 here. Where's confirmation? Here and here, all at 7. So just hang in there. Yeah, this is the spot. Especially if we get a dot to go on next week. That's the area. $7. Under 780. Looking for that return move on Rumble. It's going to take time. No doubt. You know, we'll get through this. And then I would say 7 to 1330, which is target 2 on the daily chart. No reason why not. Just listen, just be prepared for that to take 30 weeks, call it. Not 30 days, 30 weeks. It's more about the weekly chart. Yeah. All right. GGAL. What's that? GGAL. Don't know what that is. Grupo Financiero Galicia. Something Spanish. Gray Gartley. Yellow dot. Purple diamond. Looking like a whole bunch of Lucky Charms here. Not ready yet, though. Look, indicators have got to be trending above 50 for that. So, yeah, nice pattern. I see what you're getting at. Couple other, there's some other patterns back here. I call those looping situations where, yeah, if you go and you go all the way up and you come all the way back down, it's common. Those are relevant when you do that. So maybe it's 23, not 29. Okay, pot stock, Sandal, SNDL. Everyone's talking about them. That's why. Sandal. What else? Green Thumb. Canopy. Are these real opportunities? Are these going to be finally do the turnaround? Weekly like that? No. I think CGC's got, hold on. I think there was a monthly here. Yeah, there's a monthly, but was that it? CGC at 136. Interesting stuff down here. I'm looking at it only because I think if they're not going to go bankrupt and something's going to change, like safe harbor banking rules for all of these guys, where they stop treating them like criminals, and they bust the real criminals. Yeah, there might be a turnaround play here. I'm not totally convinced. Tilray, what's here? Interesting. A diamond. That's pretty significant on the monthly. Weekly, I need patterns. Can I have some patterns? Tilray. Yeah, I want to keep my eye on that. I mean, because, look, that's 40 cents down there. The pattern was more like at $1, now 161. But if they're not going to go bankrupt, maybe we need to look at it. Because if they're not going to go bankrupt, it's not going to take a hell of a lot. It's not going to take a big position to be right in that. GT thumb, GBTH, no, GBTF. Hold on. Green thumb, GBTIF. Sorry, GBTIF. I just had it. Come on. Probably the one I would be sizing up. 773's XA level. You're just starting to turn around. So GTBIF, green thumb. It's a dispensary grower play, whatever. But that's working. It's my computer. Am I slowing down? Claire, let me know. It very well could be. I don't know. BMNR. Yeah, that is another one, guys. I do think this is another one that's ready to go. And I mean, you're 55 at the moment. This is the problem. Or not the problem. This is the reason. We just went another daily HSI continuation. And I brought this up last time. The possibility of this doing a full reset up to the 886, which is 140. Yeah, I like that. Also, we're going to get a dot on the close today. I don't know. It should be flashing now. But there's the signal. The retest yesterday, 1 green, 2 green, and you go just like that. And I mean, it's 55. Right where you are right now is, that's the buy point. So I'm down on that. Did I really disappear for a while? Let me know. A couple more. Bros. Isn't that Dutch Brothers? Yeah. Still know my symbols. Ooh, nice. There you go, guys. 52 and a quart. 52 and a quart. Right there. A type 2 bat pattern. At the hop. Looks great. Yeah, I have a friend of mine that bought this like a year ago. And he bought, I don't know, he bought like 100 shares and it raged for him. He doesn't trade, but he just drinks their coffee. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that. There you go. $52 for sure. Maybe one of the best ones we've looked at all day. Double confirmation. Another dot, another arrow coming out today. And we will get a pink diamond come up. And at this point, wait for that. It might be 2 or 3 more days, but you're there, man. That's a nice one. What a sweet pattern. Okay, a couple more. TTD, Trade Desk. Didn't that get pummeled? Didn't that get beat up on earnings? Yeah. Oh, man, look at that. They beat it up. I thought there was a weekly here. There is. Okay. So I agree with you on TTD. It's probably way overcooked. Down too far too fast. But that whole scenario and that number is really, that's like 47 bucks. Looking at 40, you're 50 currently, but I think in this kind of market, they're going to beat stuff like this up, and you can start to look for the opportunity. Start looking for the opportunity. TTD. Literally last week was the first week because we have this check back, a whole bunch of confirmation. 47's the number. Couple more. Albertsons or Albemarle? Alb Marley. Alb Marley Corporation. Is that like Bob Marley? No. Alb Marley 87. Look at that. Amazing. Another looping. Here's another looping pattern. It was a T2 against that bat from 5 years ago. Is that relevant? If they keep bouncing off those levels, absolutely. One or two more. GME. Yeah. GameStop, is that having its day? Because remember, 21 was the shark. Remember this? I think it was a type 2. Did we get there? Almost. I mean, you could do it a couple of different ways. But 21, that's pretty much where we should be looking at. Right now, let it come back. Back to 25, guys. Couple of overbought signals there. And that's okay. Lithium. Well, LAC, yeah. That was a long-standing one where LAC, wow, 682 now. Remember, it's all about the monthly. We're going to 12 bucks. You guys remember that one? I mean, we talked about that in the beginning of the year, and I just said, settle in. We've got to get to the right of the downtrend. That's another one. Absolutely, that is another example where it's set up, it completed, confirmation, and take this to task, okay? Your pattern completed here. And if you're new to harmonic patterns or someone's teaching just, executed any harmonic pattern, that's not how we're going to do it. That's the first step, T1. Where's the confirmation? Came in, checked back. There was the dot. That was last September, guys. All right, and it took a couple more months till we even got a diamond. And we retested that zone. That was like 260. So now you're 680. Almost 300% off of that trigger. The whole point of it, though, all right, you're here in your window, 30 bars. So if you're in that 30 bar window and you're willing to say that might take until August 26th to do something, then you got to stay in it. It's like crypto. It's like a lot of these turnaround low floaters. Okay, line up the XA level, pinpoint confirmation, and use that confirmation as the trigger point. Understanding, even if it takes months, which that's what it is, you're still looking for target 1. 12's coming, my man. It's just going to take months. It's going to take at least 3 to 6 more months. Even in the most bullish of scenarios possible. But yeah, it's a beauty, textbook, bat type 1, and we'll go from there. Yeah. One or two more. Listen, some miners. Clean Spark, guys. I'm really liking Clean Spark. I'm really liking the progress. Clean Spark ever since, okay, the Type 2 Gartley. Now, this is what I want to bring up. I'm watching 15 closely. Watching this test right here at 15. We very well could get some kind of like stealth pullback before we really moon. But it's coming together, and it's a lot like, look, remember what I said about Coinbase just last week? The daily pullback hit the daily retest 311, now 370. That's go time. Connell, C-O-N-L, that trigger was like 31. Now we're 45. There was the trigger. 32. MicroStrategy was 300, 310. Okay, now 349. Yeah, and that had a pattern. Look at MicroStrategy. I mean, we talked about that pattern at 1618. That's full type 1, 355 or higher on this move. A lot of patterns, guys. I mean, just insane. Insane patterns. A lot going on. USAR. There's Mother Iggy. I didn't even mean to hit on that. What do we do with that? There's that Mother type 2. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I don't know. I mean, I just hit that by accident, and look what popped up. That's pretty amazing. Maybe we should start following that one. Take away your preconceived notions. Let's follow that one. Aspen. Don't know that one. Aspen Aerogels. I really don't know what that is. Weekly. I'd have to look that up. Patterns. Yeah, great stuff all over the place. Just not ready to go. You're taking its time. But okay. USAR. That was the one that you were requesting before I hit that other. USA Rare Earth. Wow. Don't know what that is. Great name, though. Great name. I said this before. I think there's a lot of mining stocks that you should consider that are, going to do crazy things like this. Why do I say 30 weeks on rum and others? Just because we've seen this stuff take so long. I'm of the opinion that you really, if you're going to get into these, we really should be looking out longer term plays. If our patterns on a daily or weekly time frame, I really think you should look at longer term time frames and look for the longer term swing opportunity. All right, let's just do a free for all here. Cardano. Kind of wind down here. Cardano's another one. I've been in that, caught that, took a loss on that. I don't even know why I did that. I've got a little bit still of that, but I think Cardano's another example where this is going to take, you're in it for the long haul. You're in Cardano for the next wave higher and to go full price recovery. And all the fluctuations in between, they don't matter. I mean, so I'd say just pick your next jump on point because you're kind of looking for something like that to happen in Cardano for the cycle. Surely. Daily time frame is 92 cents still, but look what just formed on Cardano. A little Gartley. Right here, 75. So we get the type 2 on Cardano. Like, let's say we get, let me clean this up. Cardano goes up, does the move here, comes back for the retest. That should be it. And that could be 3 to 5 days. That whole thing happens. Turn around and you go. APPL, what's that? Apploven? Aptus Farm? That's a new one. I can't do anything with that. I mean, really. FCX. You'll Freeport McMoran, right? Yep. Let's look at the weekly. I would be looking at weeklies across the board. Freeport McMoran, I think it's a great idea. Daily. There you go. Daily Gartley at 35. Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. Not a great price history, but it's a good idea. Maybe if we get a dot, the way to trade those, look, hit the level. If we got a dot back at 35, then play the return move, like, from there. If it's really going to blast, it'll go straight through. But I think that's, you take it in minimums. ACHR, that's okay. I mean, I like Joby Aviation better. And Joby's up. Archer, I mean, that thing's run a lot. Yeah, nothing there. Here's Joby. I mentioned Joby about 2 weeks ago, and now we're making that continuation move. It was right down there like 13, and then we had a shark on the 4 hour, like there. Where was the shark? Maybe it was an hourly. I know. It was a 4 hour extended trading hours. Like that. There was the bat. That was the bat. And look, Joby is like qubits. It's like a lot of these. D-Wave, IONQ. I mean, these have got real potential to do major things. So stay with it. Yeah, 15 billion. Archer's probably just needs another signal. Apple. Apple's just keeps going. Why not? Apple weekly. Almost all-time new highs. And I talked about this last time. I think Apple is a $300 stock. We break out on this move and you go to 300. It's already gone. And it just maintains this up channel. I mean, for the next 5 or 10 years, guys. Seriously. I really, at least let me be conservative and just say this trend channel continues for the next 3 years. No matter what happens, you are not getting out of this. It just, you can use that as the slope of the gain, that how we should be playing this, expecting it to continue. Yeah, you'll go from upper channel to lower channel, but just extend it out. This is not stopping. And it's like that. Take it out to the end of the decade where minimum top end, just if it just stays on the same slope it is, you're talking 4 years from now, you're double. I think we're almost double. I just don't think this stuff. It's sometimes we overcomplicate it because of all the gyrations in the news world. No. The underlying premise of what's happening with all these mega tech, mega cap stocks is that the money is flowing into the global economy. The monetary expansion continues. And these are the primary beneficiaries that, look, they're not going to give it up. There's no reason to assume that this is going to stop. No reason. So be aware of that. Bitcoin 120. Let's just kind of come back around on that. Thanks for telling me that, Jonathan. Bitcoin 122.55, guys. We're here. Let me leave you with this thought. We've been waiting for 118. And I said this last week, that we'd go through the weekend and we'd scoop down and come out and register HSI. We did. And the only thing I care about is the 4 hour range and printing anything $124,001. We've done the return move on a couple of patterns here. All right. And even if we were to spend another couple weeks, I don't think so. But let's say we spend another week or two around this area. As soon as we're up here, 124 and $1, $124,001, triggers it. And that triggers the 2618, our big targets that we have been talking about. You know, we go, once we clear here, yeah, there's the square. That's what you're looking at, and conveniently ends right around beginning of December. So we break out, we get into this green zone like that, and it's on an accelerated path. That's where we are. And it's damn close. Stuff like Zcash, other things that are popping off, take notice. Take notice. Okay? We're really close to going to a whole new character, guys. That's the takeaway. We've got lots of things setting up, and what I expect to see is a continued pop off. Things like Zcash, Bitcoin to break out of its constraints, Ethereum, and the rest of them to keep doing what they're doing. I'm impressed. Everything is on target. It is on schedule, guys. So just prepare, buckle up. Literally, the next 60 days are going to be are going to have all the action we've seen this year. I think basically scrunched into the next 2 months, 10 weeks, a real blow-off phase for 2025. You're on the edge. All right? The rest of them, guys, bring them back on Thursday. I hope we had no problems today. Everything else was looking good. So, again, thanks for the patience. Everybody else, you know what to do. Get over to harmonictrader.com. Okay? Become a basic member here and get your software. Hey, listen, let's give away one 30-day trial. The first person to put in HPC 30 will give you a 30-day trial. What you need to do is hook up with me on the Discord. And it's all free, guys. By the way, just to let you know, it's all free. Manuel Johnson, you win. Manuel, hit the Discord link. Okay? I'm going to put it in the chat. Everyone else, you got any questions, or you want a little special extra trial, or you want more information on the update? Thanks, David. Connect with me there on the Discord. Just one note, watch out. We still have the scammer in the chat, so I will never solicit you for money. Everything we have here is free. Take that time. If somebody does try to scam you, just tell them to fuck off. I mean, I'm just so sick of it. These guys are insane. But I'll be back on Thursday, all right? Hit the like, subscribe on the way out. Get more notifications. Otherwise, we'll be back on Thursday. You guys have a great one. Get ready. We'll see you then. Go get them.